Welcome back. I'm Danny the Dinosaur Drawer, and today I'm going to be showing you all how to draw the Mosasaurus from Jurassic World feeding on the shark while all the spectators are watching in the water arena type thing. So yeah, let's begin by putting in an outline. This is a Christmas special video, so you might not be watching it at Christmas time, but this is my Christmas video, so it's extra special since I usually don't draw stuff from the movie. I usually do just dinosaurs from the game. So we're actually going to start off by putting in the auditorium, I guess you'd call it, or the places where people sit. Like this very elaborate seating, better than any football stadium. I'm sort of going to go off the page. And since our main focus is going to be the Mosasaur, which is jumping out of the water, we at least we'll have to put a little bit of a outline for it. Just a quick basic idea what the head is going to look like. And then we have to have the shark dangling from the rope. Shark was going to be right about there. Now the water is going to be very challenging, so I'll leave that for a little bit later. For right now, we have to put in the arena type thing. So I'm actually going to end the picture right here, just to save us the time of drawing a lot of people. So we'll take our eraser, erase that area, just to make our drawing a little bit simpler. So this place is all about safety. Therefore, they have like these, they look like electric shockers that go over the edge and have like 3 wires, I guess, to protect people just in case the Mosasaur tried to jump out, which it does when fighting, when the T-Rex and Indominus are having their epic battle. So I don't know if it got shocked or not. Probably not. So we'll try and put these in with a little bit more detail. Now that we're done with the main outlines, we have like a little red button there just to show that it's dangerous, so you shouldn't touch it. So little red beacons. So I just want to get in this part first before we do the Mosasaur, because it's equally important in the scene, because we can't just draw the Mosasaur by itself. So there's the 3 wires, we'll have them continuing on to the next one. I'm going to clean up the lines we don't need, to make your drawing look a lot better. Make these a little bit darker. A little beacon there. I just broke my pencil. That's one of the downsides to mechanical pencils. So put the little area where it would connect into these steel bars that are holding it in place. Not really good at drawing man-made stuff. It's always been my weakness. It's never been my forte. So put that in. Erase these lines because we don't need them. This will lead to the next set. Like in the game when the Mosasaurus is feeding, you can't really see the people that much. You just see the Mosasaur come up, snatch the shark, and it leaves. I'll erase this line because it doesn't look really well. It doesn't look really good. So put the next section in. It's painstaking work, isn't it? If you want to, you could skip ahead to draw the Mosasaur, but you'd miss out drawing the structure here. And here they end. And then we're going to draw the announcer who's like talking about the Mosasaur, what it fed on, which included fish, turtles, and smaller Mosasaurs. Just quoting from the movie there. This actually comes down a bit more here. We're going to put the actual perimeter. Looks something more like that. Put some shading in there. Hopefully we won't smear too much. And now we can put the platform that the speaker is on. There's like railing around it so she doesn't fall into the water. She would probably die if she fell in the water. Mosasaur would see her and be like, lunch. So we'll draw the person here. That's going to be her arm. She's holding on to the edge. The other hand, she's holding on to the other edge. Can't really tell it's a woman from this far away. So let's put a figure there. I'm not really good at drawing people from far away. She has like shorts on. So. like so, and I'll put in the opposite railing. I'm going to shade that in. The wall is pretty plain. There. Just noticed you didn't see me drawing that. That was a mistake on my part. So I'll put that in. I'm just going to refine this line a bit more, just to make it look better. So that's good for that area. And now we'll put in the opposite side of the aquarium. So I don't got a zillion different names I could call it. But in this case, I'm actually going to start the Mosasaur and we'll finish. This will be the finished thing. So now to the fun part. We will start with the top jaw. Give it a straight line like that. I might actually cut it back a bit. It's got more of a thinner head than I had drawn in the draft. It's got like a lot of these lines coming up from the mouth. Basically like the gums. That'll be the tip of the mouth. We want to get it just right so it can look epic. The eye is right about here. And it's looking at the shark. Let's put the eye in there. Put in the eye socket. Some shading around there. It's got like a ridge that continues from the eye across the rest of the head. You can't really see the nose, but the nose would be right about here. So we'll put that in, even though you can't really see it. Put some shading in there. And put the eye ridge in. It's kind of weird drawing a dinosaur from like the side, you know. It's got a cavity here. It's sort of enhancing everything because the reference images I have, they're not extremely detailed. So that's where the artist has to come in, when they're drawing them, they have to change a few things about. Change a few things around. So we'll give the gums here a darker color. Like so. I'm going to put some faint scales here. Not too much because you can't, from this far off from the skeleton, you couldn't, not from the skeleton, from the head, you can't really see any scales, but I'll put them in just to make it look more reptilian. Put in some lines to give it more detail. I'll cover this area here with scales. Make it look a little bit shiny because it has to look wet because it just came out of the water. There's like, yeah, it was completely submerged until just now, so it's coming out of the water. Put some more scales in there. So that looks pretty good for the top jaw. Let me zoom in a bit. I like how it looks a lot. Put in a few fine lines. I hope it's easier to draw it like this. Because if I was just to draw it like exactly how it looks, it would just be a jumble of shades instead of no real lines. So yeah, that looks pretty good for the top jaw. Now, you may be wondering where are the teeth, so I'm going to put those in. It's got very T-Rex-like teeth, which means like small and big ones. This tooth looks like it's going the wrong way, so redo that one. Just make them look like bullets. Just give it a lot of teeth, yeah. It's a very toothy dinosaur, or not a dinosaur, because I know I'm going to end up with comments that Mosasaurus is not a dinosaur. With our amazing sea creature friend. So that looks amazing, that top jaw. Zoom out a bit. Move the picture up. Looks very nice. I'll add some bumps to the top to give it some more texture. Because it's our special Christmas dinosaur, the Mosasaur, so we want to make it look very nice. So, now is time for the bottom jaw. So the bottom jaw it almost looks bigger than the top one, especially at the base here. It's very wide, but then thins off at the tip. And the teeth on the bottom jaw look more savage than the ones on the top jaw. Also, you can see more of them. So that's sort of what the bottom jaw looks like. We'll erase these lines because we don't need them. But also because the neck is coming like that. The whole hulking body of the Mosasaurus is coming out of the water. So yeah, now all we have to do is, it's got like very crocodile-like wrinkly skin, so. Which means like lots of lines dashing back and forth, creating wrinkles. It's got a very wrinkly looking skin, on the bottom jaw at least. So we'll put in a few scales here. The bottom jaw looks just as good as the top one. Maybe even better, because we're not done yet. So put the tongue right there. Put the other side where that muscle is that opens and closes the mouth. I'm going to put some teeth from the other side of the jaw. The longer ones would be showing. And now we can put in the bottom jaw teeth. The bottom jaw teeth don't really get big until the edge end. And that's when they get really big. So put the other side. Put a lot of teeth in there. The Mosasaurus from Jurassic World is definitely way bigger than what the real Mosasaurus was. The real Mosasaurus was way smaller. This one's like 90 feet, or yeah, it's really big. But then again, most everything in Jurassic World is bigger. More teeth. Yeah, that's really good for the bottom jaw. And now all we have to do is put in the shark and the rest of the body. So the shark is, you're facing the belly basically, and the bottom of the neck, so you can't. The shark looks really small compared to the mosasaur. So its bottom jaw or mouth will be right there. The shark really looks real in Jurassic World. So I'm not sure if they used a real one for parts of it. And the tail is like all hung up there. It's got that like steel line lowering it down. Its tail gets a little bit skinnier at the end than I had it. And I will erase here because we have to put in the side fins. The shark might be faster than a mosasaur. Might be, I'm not sure. Because the mosasaur is so big that it might be hard to catch a shark. So put the little fins it has near the end of its tail. Yeah, so basically that's the shark. Looks pretty good. And it's already dead, so didn't feel any pain when the mosasaur chomps its whole front body off. so maybe some shark fans might like that. I definitely like dinosaurs better than sharks, but yeah, so now we'll head in and do the back. You can't really see it because there's meant to be water around there, but it's lots of studs and spikes. I'm enhancing them a bit just so you know, because they're kind of hard to see. But there's lots of them. So put all those spikes in. This actually might end up being, I'm not sure, it might end up being my longest video on YouTube, which makes sense because it's probably going to be my last video in 2016. Hooray for 2016 and my YouTube channel. I started it in my YouTube channel around March. I don't remember the exact date. I know I started it, but I didn't put a video up right away. So that's pretty good for the spikes. Now all we have to do is put it in the body. You can't really see the flipper. You sort of know it's there, but it's hidden by water. So basically the neck is a bunch of wrinkles. It's really wrinkly. So put all the wrinkles in. Wrinkles go back and forth. So again, we'll erase a little bit to give it a shine, since it was just in the water. And now the top, we'll put some scales and put the ear in there. It is a bit wrinkly, like the bottom. So put scales in. A bit more of a reptilian look. That looks really good. Our Mosasaurus looks epic. Didn't think it would turn out this good. This is really nice. So, now comes probably the most challenging part, which I might try and avoid by just putting a little bit of water, because the water is definitely the hardest part. But we're going to have to do it, so just follow what I'm doing here. Can't really explain how I'm going to do it. I'm just doing it. Putting splash and surf. It's quite a thing. So we gotta finish up the water here. There's surf going in every direction. I've never been good at drawing water. It's a very hard concept to draw. I mean, like, very hard to make it look good. And since the droplets would be so small from this far away that it's hard to draw them. So basically you just have to draw it, or do a lot of erasing for the foam. Just coming up like that, and just hope it looks good. And of course it's going to look good, because one thing that will make it look good is that the color of the still water is darker than the foam water that the Mosasaurus splashed up. So there's the far wall. It sort of ends right about there. So with long strokes of your pencil, I might use a different one here. It's a little softer. You'll put in the water. Basically give it a nice tone. Then you can take your finger and smear it. Yeah, like that. So that looks pretty good. Here you'll smear it there. Put some more water in here. Like so. And that makes the foam that's coming out from the Mosasaur look a lot better. And of course, another thing that helps is putting little waves coming from where the Mosasaur jumped out. Like when you throw a rock in a pond, it sends ripples in every different direction. A whole like circle around. Water is a very challenging thing to draw, as you're finding out right now. But of course we'll have to leave it at that. Can't really get it much better. That looks good for the water. Now I'm going to zoom out a bit. And now we can... I'm not going to spend too much time with this, but we will put in the bridge that's in the background that the train crosses. I want to make it faint because we don't want to take away from the Mosasaur. So the bridge going in that direction. But just adding it makes it look nice. So, and the far shore is over there. Just don't worry too much about it. And we will put in the mountains of Isla Nublar, but again, very faint. You don't want to take away from the Mosasaur picture. Really simple mountains. We don't want to attract attention away from the Mosasaur. But it is nice to have the entire picture. So now we can start, now that we're done with our epic Mosasaur, we can begin, here's this hold in with me. We'll continue to do the fence line. put a bit of shading there because the wall has a shadow on the wall. Hits a shadow on the water. Same way there's like a shadow under the bridge. So yeah, we'll put in the same electrical shocker things that we have here. Don't worry too much about them. The Mosasaurus is the main thing in the picture. So that looks pretty good for that. The other side of the wall. Might put a little bit more shading here. I want to make the water a darker color than the wall is in that specific area. Sorry for moving the picture around too much. Now I'll put in the big structure that can go underwater as well, because it takes people underwater so they can see the Mosasaur. Get an even closer look at the Mosasaur. I've like memorized every single line in Jurassic World, the movie. I love that movie. It's one on my top 3 movies, probably. Jurassic Park is probably going to be probably in the top 3 as well. So put in this structure. It's a very cool structure. And there's like 2 different rows, or 2 different huge sections. Not rows, they're sections. And there's lots of people. I guess this would be a little higher. And for the people, you can just put in little group, like little, just the dark-headed people would be the ones that you're putting the dots in. Basically, you put in dots and then smear it and make it sort of, so you can sort of see rows. We don't want to spend too much time with the people. It just takes a lot of time. There's like a door there where people come and go, I guess. And then there's another section that starts here, but luckily we don't have to draw that. And all the people. The structure continues to go up. And we can draw our mountains here. I'm actually surprised how beautiful this picture is. It looks very nice. I hope yours looks very nice as well. I might do a little bit more shading on the mountains. Not too much, but make them look a little better. They're not really like, it's more like a cliff thing, so I don't want to make them look too much like individual mountains. Because it's not like Isla Nublar is that big. I mean, it's big, but it's not that big. And then one more thing I'm going to add is the palm trees. There are palm trees on the outside. These must be really tall palm trees. we'll put them in. And there are even some palm trees on the other side. Like I said, these must be really tall palm trees. Don't worry too much about the people. It might even be the Mosasaur when there's no people looking. When it's like when it's all empty. So yeah, this video is coming to a close. It's been a really good drawing. It might be one of my best drawings on this channel. Be sure to share this video to friends who might like Jurassic World a lot. So yeah, all I have to do now is sign it. It's the third time I've broken my pencil in this video. Sign it, put the date. You'll soon see me putting 2017 instead of 2016. So here is the final image of the Mosasaur. So I've decided to do an extra little part to this video, and where I'm going to put a little bit more detail into the people, because I just felt kind of bad that the people, you can't really tell that there's people there. So we're going to put in, it's basically like drawing scales, just draw a lot of little round heads there. Because I know some of you would like to draw the people. So I'm going to put them in more detail right now. Even though it's, because like I just realized this is like the main picture that represents Jurassic World, so it has to look really good. So it looks good for the people, right? You can see them a lot better now. I'll do the same to this box here. And the same to the top box. I was actually drawing this picture from, I have the movie case in front of me. So that's what I'm looking at. That's the only reference image I have. I know it's painstaking work, but it must be done. One time I was drawing a gladiator picture a while back, and it was like a scene with the gladiator in the Colosseum, so I had to draw all of the people, and that I just did it like this basically, so like swirling. So that looks really good for the people now. You can actually see the shapes of the heads. So I hope you guys are more pleased with that. And I also wanted to do a little bit more stuff to the water to make it look better. So yeah, this is what the Mosasaur looks like. And now the drawing part is done.